considered a hot take. I'm going with Paris Legion. I think some of the maps that they'd be losing, I mean, it's just they are losing to themselves. They're losing to teammates. They're losing to a little bit of hiccups here and there. And I'm hoping that John comes out hot in this series today.
All right, Nameless. So you agreeing with it right now because a lot of people would side with LAG.
Yeah, I'm picking LAG in this series. I mean, I think both these teams have been playing pretty pitiful, but I think LAG has the way higher ceiling, and I think they showed it when they won that championship. So, I mean, what I saw at Paris yesterday, that was dust. Like, they literally got absolutely tucked. So I'm going LAG in this one.
Well, you know, I'm going to give a big shout out to Zanny because I'm seeing a little bit more clearer today, okay? Even though Paris Legion, I've clowned him, I've criticized him, hands down on this desk, I've been so vocal. In this matchup, I actually like him a lot. You know why? Because this team actually sometimes play like they're hungry, and against a struggling LAG, it's like, yo, which version of this team are we going to get? Are we going to get a team that could possibly remind us about Major II, or are we just going to get LAG that's currently, what, 0-3 this stage? We'll find out soon, but also let's send this over to the duo who are both expecting children. So congrats to Standy, by the way.
The papas.
Fellas, good morning. Or good afternoon.
Appreciate that, Vel. Yeah, man, we're the dad duo. Jay, I don't know how this has happened. I think we're like the youngest commentator pair, but hey, something in the water, I guess, for this Vanguard season. But buddy, congratulations. What, it was just your birthday? Now you're finding out you're having a kid? Hey, how do you feel right now, man?
It's a very eventful weekend, man. Turned 27. Right? I'm having a daughter. Now we got to end the weekend with Call of Duty. Like, who doesn't want to end it with Call of Duty? We have a great matchup in front of us. Obviously, you heard the Dess's take right there, where they all going to take Paris Legion, but I'm taking LAG. I feel like LAG, they got their feet wet in their first matchup with Gunless back on the roster versus Florida. It was tough. Florida are a hot and cold team. They showed out in the respawns. But for LAG in this series versus Paris, I feel like this is where you can start to click everything back together, put everybody on the same page, and get back on track to be on point at Major 3. But when you take a look at our maps and modes, this is the way that I broke it down. Map 1 is going to be mixy. That's all about the momentum, whoever takes that map number 1. Desert Sea, Search and Destroy, I feel like LAG are the better Search and Destroy team. They have more reps on that map, so they should be able to walk away with it. And then the Gavutu Control, that's the head-to-head clash. That's going to be both of these teams their best control map that they have, or the map that they have played the most in that mode. So this series is all going to start with this map number 1. And Paris Legion, they need to turn the page, man, because yesterday they got whooped by NYSL, and they got to completely forget about it now.
Yeah, they do, man. As we said, it's an interesting series, right? Both these teams 0-3, and you're really worried, right, if you were to lose to the opposing side, because what does that say about your team heading into that Toronto Major? It is going to be a fun one, a dicey one to kick off some good old CDL Sunday action as we are into Bocage. Paris doing a great job at getting involved in the feed, but so far it has been LAG grabbing a few of those early points. But Jay, something we also got to talk about, both these teams, they did match up quite recently over at the Pro-Am. It went to a game 5, but most importantly, it started off with a Bocage, and Jay, it was a 5-point game that went Paris's way.
I'm expecting nothing less in the same exact map right here for this map number 1. You see the way that Paris Legion are playing this. They got a good chunk of time off of that P1, but they controlled the spawns every single second so they can set up properly for P2. The only thing now is you cannot die off the rotation. Gunless is going to be able to find one, but Tom Gravity is going to do a great job of at least relieving that pressure from the back, should be allowing his team to get some good time off of this hill.
Yeah, and that's a good sign too, to see somebody like Tom Gravity having a solid performance. When we talk about that Pro-Am match where these two teams faced off, that Bocage, Paris won it, and it largely was in part because of Gravity's play. He finished off 43-27.
Yeah.
A lot of players to look out for in this game. We could talk about John, we could talk about Jimbo, we could talk about Gunless, obviously making his second game back toward this team, Jay. And like we said, man, there's a lot of weight on his shoulders, because if LAG were to lose this, they've got Atlanta FaZe up next. They have a very, very good chance of going 0-5 if they drop this.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. You don't want to lose it if you're LAG, because right now I'm pretty sure they're sitting in like 5th in the point standing at 115, and Paris Legion all the way at the bottom with 20. And with every other team between them, it's like 10 to 15 point difference. So this is a massive, massive win if LAG can come out and take this one. As you see off the rotation, LAG are going to have those back spawns. They're going to be fully set up, only down by 11 points. Keep in mind, that game clock already went down by a minute, so it might come into play here soon.
Yeah, that's always a scary thought when it comes to Bocage. Oftentimes, players aren't always going to be aware of the game clock, but on Bocage, it is a mixed bag indeed. As we go back and forth, it was LAG for a moment that looked like they were in a great position. Paris, however, start to storm from the front, and again, the man who has to be talked about, Tom Gravity, a 10-3 start, and currently in a hill that by no means favors the weapon of choice. As Jimbo falls from the bottom, it only sets up Gravity for some more success. Paris with a very minor advantage, but very well could be looking at some streaks at some point as Jimbo looks to cut off a few players from the back.
Yeah, this is a beautiful setup right now from Paris to hold this from the front. Still causing a lot of problems for LAG to try to get any time off of this P3. Gravity's on a 5-3 with the auto in bottom. Grandmas, you do not hear that often before he eventually does get taken down. But so far, Paris Legion are putting them at the back foot. They're controlling the hills from the front side. They're making them work double the time to try to get closer towards this point. But that's gonna be Paris Legion. They find 3 kills, and the 2 players that I really want to see step up are Jimbo and John. Like yesterday, they did not play well. When you want to have success in this game of Vanguard, your SMGs need to be turning up.
Yeah, and you know, the whole conversation around Paris, buddy, has been like, okay, Temp, somebody's got to help the guy. Like, somebody's got to do something where Temp has got that secondary slayer along with them, and we talked about it a lot. Like, usually the key to seeing success in COD, especially in Vanguard over, you know, the more recent years, has been through your SMGs. And really, for both these teams, Paris, they've struggled, and for the other side of LAG, they've also really struggled. They basically have identical KDs, Huke and aSim, to the likes of John and Jimbo. So really, SMGs have got their chance to heat on up. As we say goodnight to the final 5 seconds over at Barn, it is time for the rotation and a great little play set up from Paris. 1 player from one side and 1 on the other. Jimbo trying to make things difficult at the backside of the spawns.
Yeah, if you're Jimbo, all you want to do is stay alive. You can pick up kills even better, as Temp does find 2, and that's going to be all 4 dead. The play from Jimbo, just put himself in that position, finds that 1 kill, allows his team to control these spawns and immediately flip it. Now LAG all the way across the map, spawning at stables. Temp just gonna cut everybody off from the middle of the map. He finds 2 before he does get taken down, but this has been 10 to 15 seconds uncontested from Paris Legion. LAG cannot get close.
Yeah, man, you're seeing John start to have a great performance. Temp getting put in positions to succeed where his teammates are also inside of the objective. Granted, we are only 4.5 hills into this Bocage. A long way still to go, but it has been clear skies so far for Paris as Huke feeling himself, maybe a little bit of a heat check as he jumped from L over in toward P5. But there we have it. Big P able to stamp himself a nice little double as we head into the second set of rotations. Paris up by 30.
So now Paris Legion, your job is to just not allow them to get back into this game with great time off of P1. Do not go 1 by 1. Give solo gunfights, because that's the way LAG are going to get back into it. Jimbo with a huge gunfight that at least takes Slasher off for the time being. But they still have a lot of bodies, a lot of lines of defense. So they can just consistently cut off these players. Getting closer and closer to the score line. Temp is able to find 2, but it seems still causing problems for Trap Grandmas.
Team trying to cause some issues. There to find 1 on the Temp, but also has some words for John. And there you have it. Asim starting to feel himself. He's getting cheeky with the movement. Now sits in the contest spot toward the top side of the gate. Has some words for Temp. Of course, it's the nade that ends up taking him down. But as we said, LAG maybe starting to feel some life. We're down after the first set of rotations. We talked about a number of different plays that led to that being the case. But a guy who's also been talked about a lot for his level of play hasn't really been that same impact player that he was at Major II. Has a moment there, and we'll see if that can continue as Paris still with the spawns.
And Paris Legion still doing the dirty work. They're doing everything fundamentally correct. They're controlling the back spawns. They're going to be easier to set up for these hard points. That's going to be 3 dead in the feed. Gunless, the only player closest in towards top barn, trying to cause problems, but so far this has been a great hold from Paris.
Yeah, great hold for Paris. And I want to actually check in and see how the boys are sounding in the comms. Let's actually throw it to a listen now with the boys from Legion.
Bottom barn, Kyler.
You're gonna push it. You have bottom barn?
Help him.
You push out Huke, tree door, barrel.
On T2, on T2. Asim's top
Barrel,
barn.
tree door.
Asim on the roof.
T2,
Asim dead.
I don't see that. He's T2.
He's got tank still.
You still T2 and 1 got tank.
Got tank dead.
T2 dead.
Nice, I'll get this 10. I'll get this 10.
I'm 2Z.
I'm able to bump you out.
Just fucking go. Stop bump. Tools dead. Off any hill for the rest of the game.
Okay, yo, listen, one's over, by the way.
I'm gonna need help tools.
I'll go left. Top house. Who?
We flip. I'm flanking top house.
1 bullet for you, my brother.
Dead.
I don't see him up
Yes,
there.
Sirskis.
I'm holding top house for now.
Stay up over here.
Your back castle,
They're still spawning in the back. They're all spawning in the
Back castle
back.
got me.
One shot.
Back window.
Window again.
Okay, that's him.
Oh,
One
one
time,
street.
one time.
Slasher, 1 shot hill.
I got you out here. I'll hit him.
Yo, just cross to the back. Asim weak. And what's P5? Main.
Pierce tower, 1 shot, and 1 back window.
They did time. He's barrel time.
Tower was a bullet. Asem still there. Asem's coming or some shit.
Nice.
I have all the right.
Have your left. Have
Okay,
your
left. I'm shifting left over.
They can hit me.
I'm holding left right now.
Already out. Kyler's already out.
One,
Stay
one,
right
one.
too. Kyler laying down Z.
They hit me back.
Gun left.
Okay, keep
Pushing
swinging,
window.
And one castle. Good, one street. All right, that's
Gas on one top street. Top B5.
Oh,
One
he's
shot.
one
Huke on gate. Slashers didn't tell him. You're slow as diamond. Go right, I think. You want water?
Yeah, you went
He
water.
hasn't crossed yet. He's so high.
Straight
He's
on
got the car. Yeah, he's got the car.
Kyler dead.
Yo, Asem is low. Two low right. One's going top gate and one's hitting low right.
Oh, gate kid.
Lower, 2 right. One more. Asen.
I didn't see him cross. He's going to deep back.
Yes, Ersky. Jay, I feel like every time we go to the Paris Legion listed, there's always some interesting nugget of information that we get just to see where the boys' heads are right now. I mean, you got Tim making some interesting calls, to put it lightly. How would you grade? How would you assess what those comps sound like?
I think that was an A+. Temp right there. He's on point, man. He is a character, and he was showing it in those comps. He said, listen, we not gonna be filling no gaps. I got the rest of this junk time. Y'all just run right on by me. Let's speed this up a little bit. And so far, it's been working, man. Paris Legion now up by 60 points. They're doing a great job of just keeping the game scrappy. LAG, what they're so good at is just properly setting up. But when you have Paris Legion players who are consistently going in, getting one, finding a trade, just non-stop chaos the entire time, LAG have not been able to catch a breather.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of people who have obviously critiqued the comms of Paris. You know, some people not a big fan of the antics that at times we hear from their communication, but you can't deny that it's at least working right now. And maybe the reason why they've been playing Bocage so often is that, well, comms, while they are useful, maybe not the most impactful when a map is as chaotic as this one, is they have got themselves a great situation right now as they will reach that 200-second mark, and now they put LAG in somewhat of a precarious position. They have got to set up and get some bit of control, because LAG will be able to get a few players off the point for now. They've got everybody and their mother surrounding them, taking them down from flanks. 30 seconds left. This is dire moments for the Guerrillas. And with the spawns that they now secure, this could be their chance to get back in the game.
Yeah, that was a great bait from LAG. They sent 2 players around the back, 1 player flooding right through bottom grandmas. They find those 2 kills around the back, were able to flip those spawns and eventually get on this time to try to get themselves back into this game. 160 to 207 should be the scoreline, but Paris Legion doing a great job of just keeping them off. Now this is going to set up Paris Legion to get that time off of that P1 and keep the spawns like they did the very first rotations of hard points. Control that for the P2 side as well. 40-point game, back and forth. Here we go.
Back and forth indeed. One player trying to make his way around the back for a moment relief. He gets cut down for the Guerrillas side. His gunless now sits on 5 in a row. That could be something to think about for the future. We talk about trying to get back in this game, what it's going to take, what it's going to do. Well, they flip spawns, and now they've got a player 1 off from the glide bomb. He'll earn it. Big P going for the glide. That is massive for LAG. But Paris continue to slay throughout the middle, and Timp, well, he's trying to think about the long game, playing some chess. A few moves ahead, he eventually gets dropped. As we said, a big situation for LAG. Down a decent amount.
Wow,
they
look
cannot
at that.
afford for this time to go away.
Look at the spawns. They flipped. They flipped at the wrong time now for LAG, so now they have to work 2 times harder to get across the map and try to flip them right on back. As Temp, he does find that first cutoff kill onto Slasher. So now if you're LAG, the best way you can do this is to hold this from the front. Basically trap Paris Legion towards the backside, but you have to get a couple kills. Jimbo and Gravity combined for 3 in the feed. Now it's going to spawn all of LAG towards back tanks. You have to invest this glide bomb or this game's going to get away from you.
Yeah, man. Now time to press the panic mode. John has to eat the glide bomb, but we'll see if LAG are able to get anything off of it. Gunless continues to fry. Here comes the push. 10 more seconds and this one is done. It will be in the books for Legion. And what a massive game 1 it could be for them. Gunless doing everything he can. Pistol out. A seam drops from the top. 3 go down again. The only player in ear's distance also will fall. A team wipe and a celebratory victory there for the Paris Legion as they get the job done on Bocage. And Donnie Timp, he's smiling ear to ear.
Yeah, it was just mixy between both of these teams entirely. That map number 1, But when we went into that listening, that's when Paris Legion were able to start pulling away. They did a great job at that P2 once again. And then when they transited to the second rotation of P3, they held it from the front without even flipping those spawns. Paris Legion just did a great job of just communicating. We heard it right there from Temp. He was controlling the troops. They were able to set up properly for a bunch of these hills, get a good chunk of time off of that P1, which eventually led to them closing out this map number 1. LAG just started off way too slow. They started to get hot towards the later half of the game. Gunless picks up goes on that 7th spree, but at that point, the glide bomb is not going to be as impactful as it will be earlier on in the game. Paris Legion, they do what they need to do to take this map number 1, now up 1-0 in the series.
Yeah, and you know, the whole talking point around Paris Legion, like we said, has been somebody get Temp some help. Hashtag free Temp has like been the thing for the team. Get somebody to help out in the slang. You know, when we've headed to LAN, when we were at the Pro-Am, he had that help. And in this first hardpoint, Jay, he had it, man. Jimbo goes, I think, +1, 33 and 32. On the other side, we saw Gravity go off somehow in bottom grandmas. He goes 31 and 25. I don't know. This is an interesting situation. Not often do we see it, especially in the online atmosphere, but we did in that Bocage.
Yes, we did. So now they just have to continue that momentum going into this next search and destroy, because this is usually where LAG get themselves out of this hole, is in this game mode. We saw what they were able to do at Major 2, even with a different player on their roster. They broke the CDL record for how many S&Ds they have won in a row. So this is their bread and butter. Even in the match they lost to versus Florida, they take the search and destroy in around 11. So this is where they need to be able to bounce back now that the momentum isn't in their favor.
Yeah, and as you said, LAG been in the spot many times, and especially as of lately, and now mark 6 straight hardpoint losses in a row, as now we turn our attention toward the Desert Siege, as you said, for game number 2. I'm eager, man. I'm interested to see how this one plays out, because again, it just feels like Paris at times can win any map, like in a series, in a set. You can expect them to win a hardpoint or respawn from time to time, but when it comes down to these records, I mean, how do you see this one going? Does LAG, I think, have the higher record of the two?
Yeah. So on this map, for both of these squads, Paris Legion sitting at 1 and 3, LAG at 3 and 5. The biggest thing that I took away when we're looking at the numbers had to be that LAG on this map specifically are 65% of their defense, and then Paris Legion are 23% of their offense. So that's going to be huge. But let's step aside. Let's look at the game fuel keys to victory for LAG. Asim has to find form, man. Last in KD since the start of the Pro-Am at a .81. This is a guy who was up for MVP at that Major 2 championship. Like, insane stuff. He just kind of fell off. He needs to get back on his foot and then continue to get comfortable with Gunless back. Gunless so far in his first series, he had a .82. It's not the Gunless we expect, but so far in this season overall, he's a 1.04. Before the Gunless ended up getting sick, statistically, he was the best player in every single mode for this team. Needed to look at him to get back in form and then take advantage of a poor Paris defense on that Kavutsu control. Paris Legion winning only 50% of their defenses on Kavutsu control, which is dead last. Usually on Kavutsu, you need to be locking up your defenses. So 57% is not good for Paris Legion. LAG need to make sure that they capitalize on that.
Yeah, that's pretty atrocious. So if you are the Guerrilla side, I think you come into this map with some confidence, considering the woes that Paris have experienced on a map like Desert Siege prior. Also, man, we're talking about it. Big P. The numbers that he's had on Desert Siege, Jay, you were talking about it before we came into this map. He's got like a 1.5 on Desert Siege specifically. This is a map that he has seen tons of success on.
Yeah, he's gross, man. 1.57 to be exact. And he's doing it a majority of the times. Like when he's just posted up 8 trains, finding that 2-piece with his auto in his hand. Gunless is that guy who's going to secure that 1 bomb site for you whenever you need to. And that's going to be massive on this map. Because like I said, Paris Legion only 23% on their offenses. The only time that they find success on offense is when they're slowly attacking that A-bomb. They win it about 75% of the time. When they're doing that, they're also finding a first blood. So it's a massive thing. If they can take off Gunless on that side of the map, get that bomb down, they should be able to find some success.
Yeah, and this is also, like you said, like the perfect opportunity for this LAG team to, I guess, kind of experience what you are expecting to have throughout the rest of the season, which isn't going to be this unbelievably dominant respawn team. They're going to have to win some search destroys if they expect to be competitive. Moving into the Toronto Major, they're going to have to rely on those search destroys. As we've seen with the core of this team, they succeed when they're winning those search destroys, as you alluded to it, at that Major 2 tournament W for them. So it's going to be a fun one. As we said lately for LAG, S&D, not been the greatest. The Major 3s, they sit at 1 and 2, but it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time to get your footing back with Pierce in the lineup again, as we see John just absolutely go flying. And, well, he gets beamed right after that.
And that's how you want to enter the building if you're Big P. Finding that first blood with the big sniper. Now immediately turns into a 4v2 as the team finds a second, and Gunless not slowing down. Give him all 3. This is why he's hot on this map. 1.5 already, and he showed it in the first round, picking up 3 kills. LAG up 1-0.
Welcome back, Big P. Woo! That's what you love to see, Jay. You love to see snipes like that. As we said, man, I mean, it's difficult, right? If you're Gunless and trying to make his comeback for the team that desperately needs him. Didn't have a great series versus Florida, but man, what a performance. Goes off in the Bocage that enters into round 1 on his playground with the sniper in hand, gets the hat trick. Beautiful plays, and he'll keep out that car rolling into round number 2. Slasher, first blood again for LAG. Paris have got to be careful.
And look at Huke. Look how much pressure he just put on the map. Now he's giving all this information to his team. You can get this bomb down at A for free. I have everything cut off. As long as we hold our flank, hold the middle of the map, we should be straight. But here comes Huke. He's going to commit towards a gunfight. Temp is actually going to be there to assist him. So what he thought was a free kill is now going to be turned into a 3v2 as they take down Jimbo from the flank. Still a tall task for John and Temp to get done.
30 seconds to work with as long as Gunless is on the map. It is a terrifying venture if you are the Paris boys, but 25 seconds left. Somebody's going to make a move. And very well could be on to John. The SMG at range. We'll see if it can work. Unfortunately not. A seam there to gun him down. Tip with the instant trade. With 15 seconds left, Gunless can continue to hang back. A seam can apply some pressure, check the bomb, and that's exactly what they're going to look to do. LAG will secure the round as they continue to dominate. And tell you what, man, they feel very, very comfortable on the map. We got some players making routes off the rip.
Yeah, right there. It's all on Slasher. When he finds that first blood, he's letting Huke know, like, hey, that lane is open. You can just hit right on through it and give us all the information that you possibly can. Once he does that, you see they transition that bomb over to A, get the bomb planted. Even though Huke commits to that gunfight before he does get traded by Temp, it's still good information that he was given to his team. They hold on the flank. They know that both players are coming from the front. They play the numbers advantage, and they clutch up the round.
Paris in dire need just to get around on the board. The way that these have played out have not been great. Temp is literally the only player who has a kill through our first 2 rounds.
Not good.
That's not good, no. And John, who I believe joined the agency yesterday, will continue on his spree. So 0-9 in his last 9 engagements. See if he can turn it around. He'll definitely be the catalyst for this Paris round. Obviously has the bomb on his back. And thankfully for him, Gunless not able to hit the shot as Jimbo will level things up with the first blood. Instantly traded upon his Temp. Another one to boot. Slasher tagged up, but not yet dropped. Holding the angle, eventually found out, and now Gunless on the 3 spree. His position's known.
Yeah, Gunless in a 1v3 with the sniper in his hand. I don't know how much commitment he's going to try to go for on winning this round. He's just going to wait to see if someone's going to try to over-peek him or play for an aggressive angle. It's him and Jimbo going to be sitting right up top this tower. I think Gunless actually has an idea that he's probably up here. Jimbo, just don't turn this corner here. You'll be okay. All right.
Here he comes. Oh, I thought for a moment Gunless was instantly aware. Jimbo breaks through the wood and ends up finding it. A little bit of an interesting situation there toward the stretch, but obviously you secure the round. Paris finally get on the board. So a sigh of relief, a moment to level things out. By the way, did Johnny get a kill? I wasn't paying attention, Jay. Did he get a kill?
So,
he did?
so.
Okay.
I think he broke that streak. All right. John is he's not going to be the super agent, I believe.
Surely not.
All right. No, he still has a chance.
Okay.
All right. Yep. Still has a chance.
Okay. It's still possible. Sure. I mean, he has to get a kill this round.
100%. He's in a great position right now. You see Gravity. He does find that first blood onto Huke, and now this is going to slow down that pressure from LAG. Asim does find one, makes it a 3v3, but this is Sean's time to attack. He finds his first kill of the map. Actually, the first kill in his last 2 search and destroys. Great work from John.
Great work from John. Now brings it to a 2 versus 2. Oh, it also stays alive. His old teammate.
Oh, no.
Maybe knows his tricks. John, not able to get up toward that second story. So with that, it now leaves good old Tom Gravity, the Røkkr in a 1v2. Bomb's about to get planted, but will he be able to cut Gunless off before then? Not going to happen. Now brings it to a mano-y-mano situation. Slasher Aware of the position, looks to challenge, cuts down the Røkkr, and just like that, LAG, another one on the board.
That's just great work from LAG right there, specifically Slasher in that 2v1 situation. One Gunless gets the bomb down. You see, he immediately gets traded, but then Slasher, he doesn't settle on his position. He pushes up knowing that the player is one shot. Once you control that entire trenches area, you can watch basically every single angle of where he can attack this B bomb from. Got a couple head glitches to work with as well, but Slasher says, I don't really need it. I know the guy's still weak. I'm going to go out there and challenge it. Gets great timing. On to Tom, Gravity, and clutches up the round for LAG. Now Slasher on a 3 spree.
Paris have eyes on that A site. I was going to say for a moment, they've yet to see anybody outside of what could be the glint from the scope of Gunless. And maybe that's done. That's really going to be the first level of contact as the scene does get wiped away on the flank. We also say goodnight to Slasher. Huke, well, second time, third time's the charm. Flank finally will pay off. The problem being is that Gunless has got to win a fight from the front. Paris will look to push him out, take him down. Huke falls. All on to Big P. Could he find the timing? 20 seconds. Not going to be an easy one by any stretch of the imagination. Started off 3-0 and now sits at 3-3. Paris take him down, and that aggressiveness pays off for him.
Yeah, and we said it in the beginning of this map. Like, the way that Paris Legion find a lot of their success on the offensive side is when they slowly attack it towards A. And right there works right into their playbook, because you said 3 players from LAG pushing through that B bomb. They're just slowly waiting for somebody to commit to the flank. They find the first blood. Eventually, they find the second. Then in a 3v2 advantage, they push out that one player in Gunless, leave that player on the flank, but then they also take care of him as well. So now, right now, that was great teamwork from Paris Legion. They're doing what they are best at on this map so far. LAG have not had a counter.
Oh, and Temp decides to bring out the big boy. Takes down Gunless in that engagement. I know Temp had a little bit of a smile on his face before he headed into that round. I'm not sure if somebody told him to bring out the sniper or if he was just letting everybody know, hey, it's going to happen. And it's going to happen nice and quick. Gunless drops, and so does the seam.
If you're in a situation, if you're Paris Legion, just hop the bomb. Like, there's no one in a position to take you off this site. You're just wasting a lot of time looking for these players. As Huke does find one. Now 25 seconds remaining. They're still committing towards these gunfights. These are huge, massive gunfights from John. He wins the first. So now in a 3v1 situation, all left up to Slasher. John's going to go for the challenge. A little bit of assistance from Gravity. And that is a perfect retake onto that B site from Paris Legion now to tie this game up at 3 apiece.
Man, like you said, it's just... Whenever we've watched Paris from time to time, it's like when Temp feels it, he's like, okay, I'm just going to bring out the sniper. Instantly makes the impact and take it down Gunless, who obviously is going to be on that portion of the map. He takes him down, and then from there, Paris, they roll, and they feed off of, without a doubt, their best player statistically. His Legion will look to continue to keep this momentum forward. The record lately has not been great in Search Destroy. The one thing that's really held them back this season is being great in multiple modes. Search Destroy, to be specific, 3-7 in their last 10. And they have not played Siege very much lately. Last time they played was at the Major II Qualifiers, so they are very much trying to get the dust off. And there is quite a bit of dust on Siege, Jay.
Yes, there is, but you see what the positioning of, once again, what Paris Legion are doing. They find that first blood, they're slowly going to work their way up. Now they have a man advantage, even with John getting taken down in a 3v2. Look at Huke. Huke's going to cover so much ground. He challenges the first, does not get the pistol out fast enough. So now it's all up to Gunless left in the 1v2.
Gunless again, left in a position to clutch.
Don't be.
Gravity. Oh, okay, Gravity, be careful, buddy. Back of his head. Almost met the other side of the spawn. Gunless does have the AR prepared, but Gravity holds the angle, and Paris continue to go back to what works. Plant down the bomb nice and quick and just back up.
LAG just haven't had an answer for it. Like, this is the second time that they've done the same exact thing on their offensive round. They find that first blood with a player like Tom Gravity, who works that late flank, puts himself in that gun position, takes that player down at that B site. So already now you're putting LAG to where they have to play the mind game. We're in a 3v4 situation. Someone has to try to make a play. When they do so, John eventually finds the pick before he gets traded. Then eventually the bomb is planted down towards A. LAG just needs to stop this A plant from happening, and they should be okay.
Easier said than done, though. I mean, we talked about Gunless. He has yet to get a kill since that opening round, where he goes off with the sniper Ever since then, Paris have adapted. Now coming into this defense, a huge one for Legion, going up 5-3 versus months ago what were labeled as the Search and Destroy Kings. Wasim with a great nade onto John, brings him down to 2 HP, and does fall by the secondary one. Great early start here from Guerrillas. Trying to slow down the pace, catch Paris on their toes. Wasim off of a great toss early on, may look to get this objective down nice and fast over at A, but here comes the nade.
It's a big nade from Jimbo. He does get that information. Hopefully the team nade comes in, and Gravity unfortunately does not connect. So Wasim does stay alive in the 4v3 situation. Right now you have Temp gonna go for the challenge, but Wasim takes him down with great shots. Now Huke finds a second, all up to Gravity in the 1v3. He's on a 3 spree. I don't know how much commitment you want to play towards this challenge, because this is a guaranteed LAG round.
Guaranteed round for LAG that just has a Wasim signature written all over it. Call him Wasim Elijah, dominant down low. Oh, and Gravity, okay, just a quick 360 spin. He has a way higher sense than I do, just like that LAG. Right back into this one. We talked about it was a round that they had to take, somewhat of a swing round type of position. The man called upon ends up delivering an 8-5 performance right now. Everybody very focused from the LAG side.
That's just good communication from LAG, though, to hit that team nade onto John to find that opening first blood. I'm pretty sure you told me this crazy stat. Like, if LAG get first blooded, they usually do not find a lot of success in the round. But when they get that first blood, they see a lot of success. Prove me wrong. What is it, Lando?
At the Major III Qualifiers, if LAG gets first blooded, they have a 0% win rate.
Okay, so see, you got to get the first blood, and that's exactly what Gunners is able to do. Finds that first blood onto Tep, already have the man advantage.
All right, path to success is there. Big P finally gets a kill. As we said, first round, excellent. Since then, not wonderful. But there we go. Finally gets another one on the board, and now LAG can sit pretty, sit confident, knowing the Paris have got to make a play. They've got to make a push. And really, considering the lack of presence that they have over toward that B desert side, it very well could be the wrap as Jimbo, with bomb in hand, makes his way heavily in toward top palace. A big position to hold, and Wasim could be here. Wasim could be here to wipe them away. Just a matter of if he wants to turn the corner or not. Is he going to spot Jimbo? Yes, he does. Shots are in, takes him down. Wasim now at 4 in a row. He's Spider-Man. He's somehow alive. Eventually dropped, but LAG with numbers still.
20 seconds left. They need to work this bomb plant. John is just trying to play for information. Is he going to be able to spot this guy around the corner? He does, and Gravity does find one, so now it's a 2v1 situation. Just have to plant this bomb. The bomb is actually going to be planted. Gravity versus Slasher. 45 seconds now.
Oh, he tosses out the nade, but it bounces off. It doesn't matter. The nade I thought was going to tell the story of this round. It bounces off the bomb to Gravity's delight, but it's the vet continuing to walk away with the 1v1s around. Really a few rounds earlier, Slasher does the exact same thing. Clutch, and LAG storm into the lead, up 5-4.
Yeah, that one's almost got a little bit scary on the side of LAG. That was a 4v2 before Gravity finds that kill to at least make it a 3v2. And John finds that kill on the Huke, turns it into a 2v2. And then immediately in a 2v2, Gravity finds a second. Now it's all up to Slasher. He knows exactly what he needs to get done. He finds that first blood and then uses that nade as just basically a covering ground. That guy, he's going to be one shot. Absolutely. I'm going to have the advantage in this gunfight. Vet plays from the man.
It plays indeed. And just like that, Wasim once more. Incredible. Late in this search destroy, also gets the bomb down. However, Jimbo instantly there. Oh, not just to take him down, but to also go on the defuse. He's hiding behind this pole. Nobody's going to see him, surely. Douglas fires it out, takes him off the site. And just like that, Gravity will fall. LAG escape what was a very terrifying situation. It looked like Jimbo had a round 11 guaranteed. Gunless goes big. The rest of the team follows suit. And the Guerrillas escape what was a very interesting siege S&D.
This is good work from LAG to clutch up that 4-4 round. That was such a crucial round for momentum because when it turns into a 1v1, Slash is able to take it, and then right there, they go right back to their bread and butter. They find that first blood, and then they attack towards B. On offense on that map, they are 57% when they're winning their rounds, when they're attacking that towards B. They said, we're going to do what we do best, get this bomb planted, and then do not allow a player to get a defuse. But we got to see that again because Jimbo, he was like, this hit marker got really scary because if Gunless doesn't whip it out really quick right there, he's not going to be able to get this kill because Jimbo was like a millisecond from getting that defuse. Almost such a great heads up play. But Gunless is able to clutch up with that sniper in his hand, finds 3 kills in the first round, 3 kills throughout the next couple of rounds to close it out for his team. Now ties it up at 1 apiece.
Yeah, man, that .25 speed, ooh, it gets me a little scared. But Gunless holds the site, locks it down, and as we said, I mean, a massive game for LAG to take. I mean, like, it cannot be understated. We know the struggles that they've been dealing with, obviously, since that Major II final. Thankfully, secure this S&D, and now we've got ourselves a 1-to-1 game. And now we head into this Gavutsu control, which, Jay, you talked to me about it. You were saying, hey, this could be like the swing. This is the mode where it's really going to be an all-out brawl, both teams' best control mode, and I think very much so, buddy. It will tell the story of how this series winds up.
Yeah, that's going to be a battle between both of these teams because they barely sit at like a close record with each other. 5-6, 6-8. This is their most played control map for both of these squads. The biggest thing that I have to take away with this, though, has to be Paris Legion. They are 7% on their offenses, right? That doesn't sound like it's a little bit too crazy, but they're averaging only 2 ticks on their offense. So can you imagine that? You're going on the offensive side, you're attacking towards A, you only get 2 segments done, and then you have to end up, you're basically guaranteeing yourself round 5 offense every time. You're not going to find a lot of success. We know that. Make sure you guys are closing out that 8 point so you stand a better chance on this map.
Without a doubt, partner, both teams off a Gavutsu loss in their prior match. Much like this series is basically highlighted, somebody's got to win. Somebody has got to take a W. Our Major III qualifiers, both teams eager to do so. Folks, when we come back after the break, and it's time for some Gav control, make sure and stay with us. Sunday is just getting started.
Call of Duty League is brought to you by Zenni. Armor your eyes with Block's gaming glasses starting at $24 by visiting zenni.com/CDL. The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
Howdy friends, and welcome back to week number 2 of our Major 3 qualifiers. We got the Toronto Major coming up soon, and both of these teams, LAG and Paris, looking to get their first win on the board. It's been an interesting series so far, currently level at a 1-1 scoreline. And Jay, we've got a Gavutsu control coming up next. And I gotta say, man, both of these teams, not great in control lately. I think Paris is on a 4-game losing streak. They've won a total of 3 rounds in their last 7 rounds total, or last 7 games total. LAG on the other side have lost their last 7 controls. Okay. So not great. Not great.
Yeah, this is not great for both of these squads, but someone needs to be able to walk away with the win here. And for Paris Legion, it starts by completing A segments. They're going to be the team in the offensive side. When I think about LAG on this team, when they were playing Atlanta FaZe, I'm pretty sure in the finals at Major 2, they were able to trap them on this map like really badly. LAG are really good on the defensive side. You can already see it as they get a clean 4 dead. All of Paris Legion now off spawn.
You're speaking of magic, my friend. Exactly the case. Paris, I mean, all jumbled up together as they desperately try to get through the storm, the wind. It is this Guerrilla defense. Seem trying to line them up and knock them down. Is really the checkpoint right now for Paris is going to be over at P1, over inside of middle as Jimbo tries to turn, get a little frisky toward the top as he falls. John as well. Body lays over at the beach side. Paris struggling mightily to get to any of these zones. The farthest pushed up player right now is going to be Temp. His position's going to be felt soon. His John will try to join alongside of him. Well, Temp trying to go toward top 3. He also falls. Player after player dropping like flies.
Paris, just get on the point. Stop the clock from winding down. We're gonna have 15 seconds remaining in this round. You have 2 players who push up towards Bo, and finally, they're gonna be able to stop that clock, but LAG, they're right there and there. Gunless takes him off. Now Huke's turn, but he's gonna get taken down. So 6.6 left on the clock. Paris Legion are able to stop the time. Can they just stay alive and at least complete 1 segment? There it is. The first one's in. They need to try to get 2.
That's their average, Jay.
Yes, it is.
Their average right now. Can they get it? It's possible. It's looking likely. They've got their average. 2 ticks. Can they make it a 3rd? Can we make it 3? LAG. Not one to give this one up empty-handed. Jimbo still gets to find a kill, but he will be heavily involved in getting that objective secured. So job done, not easily. Paris not only capture that A point, but they are firing. After securing it, right toward green they go, right toward the spawns they go. As Jimbo runs right into the angle held by Gunless. Time will stop for the moment. The big thing for Paris, though, Jay, they got to be careful. 40 seconds to work with as players continue to drop. They've got one last good look at this.
Yeah, if I was LAG right there with 6.6 on the clock, though, I would have committed to not allowing them to complete that A capture. But you see, now you have Gravity who's working towards some potential kill streaks. 1 off of that glide bomb. He's going to be able to pick it up, but no. Asim shuts him down with some great shots. Zimbo gets his first kill on the round. Now, even with Paris Legion, they should be able to lose this round to start us off with the way that LAG are properly set up. But them just completing that A point with 6.6 seconds left, that's a job well done. They get 3 segments there. Now, all their main focus is on this defensive side and to not allow LAG to get any points towards that B side.
Yeah, I mean, the way that it started off, it just felt like, okay, Paris is going to have to work unbelievably hard to be able to get out of their base. They eventually find that lane, and I mean, it would have been huge as well. Gravity's able to find that streak. That just would have been excellent for Paris moving forward. So like I said, they at least get that A zone. So that's 3 ticks to move forward with. LAG in a major need to at least meet that margin. As like we said in round 5, it is all about how many captures, how many ticks that you've got throughout the game. And that decides who has the more favorable spot, which is defense. Really on basically every map outside of Berlin, which is still a very mixed bag for right now. But LAG's opportunity quickly into their attack, and well, they're met with some nades early on.
Great nades from Paris Legion. Now they put themselves in a man advantage, and you have a couple players who are overextended and trying to play for some potential spawn kills. But you have a couple players from LAG coming off of that spawn towards back P4. Huke trying to do everything he can to stay alive in towards front ship. He's gonna fight for that map control, take control of top ship. Should be able to drop down and find this kill. A little bit of assistance from Gunless, but a lot of pressure from LAG. They just have to be able to read this player on the flank. Gravity can break their setup.
Oh, Gravity can indeed. Oh, great work from Huke. He's able to line up too, and so just like that, the one tick that LAG has is going to remain the only one that they've got for the moment. Gravity trying to pick up from the great performance he had on Bocage. From one respawn to the next, he and John working in such great tandem together on the 5 spree. Once more cut down, he can smell the glide bomb. They can't earn it just yet as he falls. That is a major player taken out of a position from the defensive side, and with that, the levy will open. LAG run right through it, and it could be the exact same position that we saw in round 1. A last second A capture. Can they make it happen? Gravity off spawn, doing everything possible to prevent it.
Yeah, Paris Legion are not going to give this one up for free. John and Gravity are still here, not trying to allow LAG to get any more segments completed. Paris are currently up by 2, 10 seconds remaining. Big gunfights going in towards bottom ship. A lot of bullets, but nothing is connecting. Oh. Gravity whips out the pistol and eventually gets it done. So now the last player closest to the point is going to be Gunless, and with only 5 seconds left, this has been a beautiful, beautiful defensive hold from Paris Legion to now take the advantage in the segments up by 2.
And Jay, I totally butchered a stat earlier coming into this about Paris, talking about how many rounds that they've lost in a row. What I was trying to say is that this is the first round that Paris have, or this is the first round that Paris have got in their last 8. They had lost their last 8 control rounds coming into that one there. So hey, it's unfamiliar territory. Paris, they're thinking, hey, we want a defense. I don't know if they're going to win an offense considering the, you know, the way that it's looked lately, but it's possible. There's some momentum moving forward. As we said, this series is all about obviously trying to walk away with the W, but ultimately trying to work on some things, get some improvements heading into that Toronto major. So we'll take a look through the eyes of Jimbo, one of the many players right now for Paris, trying to enforce the push over toward this A zone, and a great few kills going their way off the start as Gunless looks to halt the push. Paris still winning a majority of these fights. Back and forth we go, and now the pressure gets applied toward middle from Slasher.
Yeah, this is good work from Paris Legion. They know that their main focus is completing this A point. First tick of progression is going to be in, so now that's going to put them up by 3 segments. If they can close this out, that's even better. You cannot allow for LAG to potentially get a clean forward edit and put you guys in a trap, as they're still going to be putting a lot of pressure on towards it. This is basically going to be the last push from LAG. Trades going back and forth. John is going to have to get himself into the play, but he is on that 5 spree, so he could potentially pick up that glide bomb. Probably doesn't want to throw away his life as easy.
This would be the 3rd streak where somebody from Paris has been on 5+. We'll see if John's able to finally get that glide bomb. The Gravity's worked so hard for. Okay, I cursed it. Sorry, Paris fans. That is all on me. However, Tamp the Soul Man in the point. Oh, he was mere seconds away from locking up that A zone, adding another minute onto the game time. But it seemed there to wipe him down. So Paris once more gonna have to strive to get out of their base, peel back the layers here on Gavutu. 48 seconds to work with. Very doable from this Legion side, but given the map positionings, it could be Jimbo who looks to try to make a route. Again, they've got that 1 tick already at that B zone, so they've got the 3 that they're wanting, but to reinforce that even more would be the ideal position. Asim and Slasher, great work together to cut down Jimbo over at P1. Paris in the back of their base. Much like we've said on Gavutu so many times, Jay, one last good look at this. Can they get that final one and add another minute on?
They're trying. John is at least trying to put that pressure on towards both to stay alive for his team. But look at Temp. He does hit the route to put himself in a great position towards top green. Should allow his teammates to at least get on that A point. But there's only 5 seconds left. They have to focus on this player that's going to be towards lower cliff. Slash is doing a great job of being the cutoff man. He does it so well that no one is able to get to the point for Paris Legion. But the biggest thing to take away from that round for Paris Legion is the fact that Jimbo snuck his way to that P point and completed that 1 segment. Paris Legion were up by now 2 segments in that very first round, puts them up 5 going into this next defense. As long as they secure this round, they should be able to lock up that defensive side for that round number 5.
Well said, my friend. Yeah, if LAG, they get 5, well, it's a tie. If
they
not,
close out both, the game's over.
There you have it. Rules said perfectly. Here we go. Paris, can they send us to a round 5? Can they make it? 4 straight defenses on Gavutu, the good old Gavutu special. Oh, and Jimbo,
Oh!
what the heck was that? What the heck was that? The 40 has come out with some vengeance. Okay. Jimbo, 4 in a row to kick this thing off. It felt like everybody was at half HP. Simp is finding kills. Jimbo is now on a 5 spree. The entire team cannot be stopped as Jimbo is on a tear. My word, glide bomb earned. And just like that, Paris have yet to die. Nobody from Paris has died yet. Plug in the controllers, Guerrillas. There you go.
Way to spawn in LAG. Unbelievable performance right there from Jimbo to turn this game around. He started this round like 7-16, already flips the script, 15-17 with the glide bomb in his back pocket. Now your main focus on is to not allow LAG to try to extend this time by completing this A segment. But even if it comes down to it, do not let them close out B because you will lose the map. A lot of pressure for Paris Legion when it comes towards that cliff side. You already have Temp on the flank, should be able to eliminate this player on point. And they're just keeping the game chaotic. Basically the same exact thing that they did in map number 1, they're matching it in map number 3.
What is going on? Paris came into this round 5 with something to prove, apparently. I don't know if maybe Theory said something negative to one of them, or if maybe Tip's getting on somebody, but my word, Paris, they're even right next to each other. They're high-fiving each other. They're feeling great about this round, and Tip snaps on another. Ends it at 6 in a row. Jimbo still has that glide bomb to work with throughout the game, and LAG huddling down, knowing that they've only got 8 lives left, doing everything possible just to get that A capture. Try to keep this game afloat, try to keep this round afloat, rather, as this is gonna round 5 OT written all over it. Slasher trying to pick up the pieces as he eventually gets dropped. It's 18-3 in lives, and well, we're going to a 5th, Jay.
Yeah, we're going to a 5th. The only thing difference is going to be LAG on the offensive side once again. They were only able to complete, I'm pretty sure on both offensive sides for them, 2 segments, 1 per round. So that's been phenomenal work from Paris Legion to apply that pressure towards Cliff, put them in that early spawn trap. Jimbo's doing a great job with the 40 in his hand to pick up that glide bomb. So many things that just went right in that last round for Paris Legion to set them up to close out this map and take this round number 5. Just all relies on Jimbo. You do not want to allow anyone to sneak through B, but if you're LAG, you need to get that early investment on that glide bomb.
Yeah, you absolutely do. A fiery Paris in that round number 4 as they went on a, what was that, 15-16 team streak. Like I said, they've got that glide bomb to work with. A very difficult spot now for the Guerrillas as they just need to get somebody on that point. The problem being is that Jimbo and John, double J's, but the SMGs continue to roam, continue to fry, and continue to pick players off. And now it seems the farthest pushed up player really just looks to hold an angle right now for Guerrillas. Get some sort of stability. Play this like an S&D round. Find a first blood and work off of it. And well, they've got it now.
Now they're going to be able to stop the clock. They just have to read these players that are going on these long routes toward the flank. Gravity with a great shot to at least eliminate the seam from the point. But here comes Jimbo trying to be the playmaker in a huge one-on-one versus Huke. Now this is going to force all of LAG to turn around, which opens up the middle of the map for his teammates. Jimbo trying to do everything he can to hit the shots on the Slasher. Not able to get it done, but Gravity finds all 4 towards the middle of the map to now relieve that pressure from LAG. 25 seconds left. This is their last push out of their base.
This is the last push, it looks like, from LAG, unless they can get all those segments captured, and just like that, they all start to fall. One player that's in a year's distance is John. When we talk about the 50-yard line, but he's looking for a flank. This could be the long play out of Paris, or at least the stall, but John gets picked apart. Oh my gosh, everybody just fell in a moment's notice, and that leaves the hill vacant to just one sole player inside of the objective. Trying to lock this one down for as long as he can, but he eventually gets challenged. Gunless falls, and just like that, the time continues to tick. The game very well lies in the balance as Paris continue to find kills. Huke now trying to do something over at that B zone, staying alive. Clock will stop at 9.6. LAG hanging on by a thread.
And this should be able to work out for LAG because they won both of those gunfights towards top cliff. So they're going to be able to stop that time on towards A. And Huke doing a great job of at least completing that 1 segment towards B. So now they have an entire minute to work with. They are down by 1 life though. You just cannot allow for Paris Legion to take map control away from you by pushing out top ring and pushing out your lower beach, because then this is basically going to be chalked. LAG need to try to attack this from back green. Gunless finding an opening kill.
But I love the slow play from Timp. This could absolutely ruin. Some great map positioning from the Guerrillas in. Now three. Donnie Timp is frying. One player will sneak his way through. That's going to be Huke, top right of your screen. Huke's going to try to make an impact there with one. Eventually found out, and so just like that, the play from Timp totally ruins them. Now brought to 7 lives. LAG, a hope and a prayer as Donnie Timp looks to try to close this one out himself. Oh my goodness. Just seems like he cannot miss with the automaton. Great work as he will look to be a nuisance in the back of the base. Jimbo now with the glide bomb. It feels like fireworks on Gavutu as Paris, an exclamation point in round 4. They bring that same presence into round 5, and they have got themselves a 2-1 advantage now in the series.
Paris Legion came to play on that map right there. They knew that it was a head-to-head matchup between both of these teams who played this map the most. This is their 2 most players controlled maps for both of these squads. And Paris Legion, they completely flipped the script. That very first offense, they were able to complete 3 segments. Great job from them instead of 2, already turning it around. And then for LAG, they just simply did not have a response on the offensive side. Like I said, the very first offense, they only get 1 segment. You're already giving the advantage to Paris Legion. But then when you go into your second offense, you basically start off the game by a 15 death spree. Like, that's not going to win you maps. They allowed for Paris Legion and Jimbo to turn this game completely around. He breaks the game at even. John goes 25 and 21. And I think the biggest difference so far from Paris Legion yesterday and today is definitely the way that the SMGs are playing. They're playing a lot more consistent, opening up these AR lanes for their ARs to put up the numbers the way that they are. 31 and 23 for Gravity, 34 and 22 for Temp. Right now, Paris Legion looking like they're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, man. What, like you said, Jimbo goes 25 and 25, Jay. Yesterday, Jimbo had 7 kills in an entire Gavutu control. So that was literally, I mean, the spree that he starts off with is the exact same amount of kills that he had yesterday versus New York. Just to put that in perspective, a very explosive game and a well-deserved highlight from the Røkkr as he just absolutely took over. And you saw, I mean, it was like 30-17, and Guerrillas had yet to get a kill. 30-17. An unbelievable stat line for Legion. As we said, man, we know the slang talent that this roster has from time to time is they without tapped into it. And something interesting also to bring up, Jay, is that when we look back at how these 2 teams matched up at the Pro-Am, it was a series that went down to a game 5, but it was a Bocage for game 1. It was a Gavutu for game 3. Paris won those versus LAG at the Pro-Am today. They've won those exact same maps. The positive for Guerrillas, though, is that at the Pro-Am, game 4 was a Tuscan. That's how they got back in the series and forced the game 5, and that is the map that we have lined here up next.
Yeah, Tuscan Hardpoint, at least for the Paris Legion side, they only have 1 positive hill on this map. So this hasn't really been a strong map for them all season, even though their overall record is sitting at 5 and 7 compared to LAG, who are 6 and 5. The biggest thing that I have to take away when I look at the stats for Paris Legion is that overall on this map, they have a 15% break rate. Oh, 15%. So that means if you're allowing the opposite team to get set up, they basically are not going to find any success on any one of these hills when they're trying to break in and get some good time off of it. And the opposite side for LAG, one thing that they're really good on this map is the P4 and P5. I'm pretty sure the difference there is about a couple of points, like 2 to 3. But the good thing for them is on this map specifically, they have a 74% hold rate when it comes to these hard points. So when they're set up for these hills, they're going to be difficult to break. So Paris Legion, you need to break. If you're LAG, you need to make sure you rotate.
Yeah, and that really is for LAG with the path to success. You got to hold off what has been a very hot Paris team in these respawns. Yeah. I mean, they won the Bocage 250 to 183. Obviously, you just saw it in the highlights there, is it has totally made everybody from LAG somewhat stone cold. A little nervous, maybe a little focused coming into this next map. And I got to say, Jay, I mean, like we said, looking at this roster, if the Guerrillas do lose this matchup versus Paris, I mean, what does that do for your confidence? I mean, you're losing to what is the bottom team right now in the overall standings, the power rankings. You're trying to get things back on page with Gunless back in the roster, and you look at the other side of Paris, they're laughing right now. What would that do for LAG if they drop in this next Tuscan and go out?
It's going to be a tough pill to swallow, man, because if you think about it, Major 2 champions S&D record in the CDL. Then they come here, and I'm pretty sure their map record is like, what, 4-20 something? It has not been good for this LAG team. They make the roster move to bring Gunless back in. Now it's all about playing the catch-up game. But to lose to a team like Paris Legion, who are dead last in the CDL, when you're a team that's just coming off of their champion, like you're our most recent champions. This is not what we were expecting when you're looking at a team of this caliber. They have nothing but veterans on this team. They figured it out before. They need to figure it out again with Gunless back on the roster. This would just be, like I said, a tough pill to swallow, knowing that they have to play Atlanta FaZe next. I don't know what kind of confidence they'll go into Major 3 with.
It's a great point, partner. I'm not sure if I should be excited at Huke's face right now or if I should be terrified.
He looked. We've seen it before.
We have. We saw it on the stage heading into that Major 2 final versus the Atlanta FaZe, where he and the boys, well, they turned up. It was a story indeed. Most recently, that story has turned into more of a nightmare. Guerrillas, a massive moment for this roster right now, trying to pick up the pace. And really just trying to get a W on the board, get some bit of positivity, roll it into that Toronto Major. Can it be success for Paris, or will it be the return of the Guerrillas once more? And really, that is the best way to kick it off. A full 4-man wipe and a flip of the spawns. LAG have come out firing.
Best case scenario for LAG. They start off on the good side. They get this initial time. They flip the spawns right off the rip. And so far, this hill has been uncontested. Every single kill in the feed has been purple. So many kills that they were allowing Paris Legion to now flip the spawns right on back with how many 4s that they were just able to accomplish. As the team still putting pressure on from the backside. He's eventually going to get taken down. And Jimbo and Temp trying to do everything they can to at least secure the spawns, because the start to this game has been all LAG. A flawless P1 hold.
Oh my goodness. I didn't think we were going to see dominance like that again after the round 4 in Gavoo 2, and now we see LAG have a turn at it. But as you said, that aggression absolutely comes back to bite them. Given the spawns right now, we'll see if it matters, as it should, given Jimbo's position, as he'll take down 2 totally. Wipes away the Guerrillas flank that they look to try to set on up. So a Slasher falls, then now focuses the attention toward the front. And just like that, now Paris have got themselves a foothold back in this game. Gravity finally able to get on the board. Started things off 0-5. John, unfortunately, still sits on a donut. Everybody from Paris just trying to get a semblance for the way that this game has started off. In the last 20 seconds are going to mean a whole lot. Also thinking about that rotation is going to be big. Tim falls off the spree. John, well, he still sits at 0-5. LAG look to grab the scrap, and they look to also net that rotation.
They're putting on so much pressure on the map right now. Paris Legion simply cannot slow the game down. You have multiple players who are already negative. The only player positive is going to be Temp, but they have just been playing from the back foot. LAG are properly going to be set up for this P3 hardpoint. Do not want to allow anyone to try to slip on through, but they're just trying to hold this push from the middle of the map. All of Paris Legion trying to attack this from that P1 side and through mid-Z. But Gunless is able to find 2 from that point. Great job from him so far. I said it, LAG on this specifically 74% hold rate. Paris Legion have yet to get close to this point until now.
Until now, this could be the opportunity. This could be the moment for the break. John, Jimbo, everybody getting involved in the feed, but LAG still with those close spawns toward the roof side. A Slasher able to come away now with a 5 spree, 10-2 to kick off for good old Thanos, well as they are compadre doing a great job as well. Slasher looking to do everything as all 3 of his teammates quickly drop the snap of a finger, and well, he's all alone. Maybe that's exactly what Thanos would like. Slasher eventually dropped, and now it's the battle for the rotation. Take a look at where Huke, the rest of the squad just spawned just toward the top side of field. LAG get the group up. We'll see if it works out as they rotate around, and now they've got the spawn toward the backside of church.
That works out beautifully right there. Paris Legion put a lot of pressure on towards that P3 hard point. Even after Temp finds that 3-piece, he finds that 3-piece. You have one player who pushes through that P5 side. Everyone is going to spawn out towards field. So LAG were gifted the spawns for this P4 hard point to start, but Paris Legion, then they shut it down real quick. Break on in, and now they flip the spawns for their own. As Temp is going to do everything he can to hold down from top church, while all of LAG trying to attack this from field. Oh!
Huke! Oh my goodness, nearly finds the 3rd, thankfully. He ends up getting dropped after what would have been a, without a doubt, highlight reel type of play. Paris now with the backside spawns, 13 valuable points still left inside of church. So far, it has been all about the Guerrillas is now they've also got that rotation set up and prepared for next. And really for Legion, trying to get a few of these nades in nice and early. Try to pick players off from the setups that they find themselves in for right now. Not looking both ways before crossing. Huke will see the benefits of that. And Jimbo also drops early time for LAG.
Yeah, Paris Legion right there. That had to be on the side of miscommunication because John goes on a super long route to at least set up the pinch. But with his teammates dying on the opposite side towards Church, now they all spawn on him. So they read the pinch beautifully. LAG read the push from the front side. Now with John being the only player up, this has been another great hold from LAG. Paris Legion, you need to make sure you rotate. If you can't break into any of these hard points, you have to be there first and at least win these initial gunfights.
Oh, an interesting little fight there for Gravity. Like a little hacienda, right? Where you're kind of constantly mantling on the fences. Same thing there with the gate, but again, it's the battle for rotation. LAG doubling the score of Paris to kick off what very well could be a fast Tuscan HP. All of that depends on what we see out of the Paris Legion coming into this next hard point. Let's step aside and see how fiery the comms sound right now for the Guerrillas. We talked about it. Backs against the wall in desperate need to walk away with this game to send us to a map 5. Let's go to the comms now with LAG.
I'm collapsing.
Gotta break the hill, yep, collapse. Pierce, turn on. Where's this last guy?
Got me, Udder.
Nice, push you, got it.
He's here.
I'm gonna push you out.
I'm
Donnie, I'm trying to pick him middle. 35 seconds, sir.
One shot. He ran out church.
Hydra middle.
One's back up to me, back up, Gravity. One shot, I got naded. I got a nade on it. I'm getting naded heavy.
Nading time. I give up middle. I just give up.
He's already on you.
I'm church, weak, Donnie.
Nade their side.
One hitting you.
John got me there.
He's absolute Jimbo. Or John, I mean.
He's going
back to their side, got it. Their side got it. He was really weak. Get a nade on him.
Stun, bro.
I'm going right.
Closer side.
I'm going right.
There's 2 old.
Tell you guys.
Got it.
Need help here?
Got it, one shot.
I'm gonna go right with them, guys. You want to? I'm waiting for you. You guys are gonna be here probably.
I'm here with you. That's 2. One's top church. He's gonna be top green on it.
I have a stun for the back.
Here, Jimbo, Apple, and one's gonna be top green after that. Tricep. I need time.
On the back.
One's top green. I'm trying to jump behind him.
Top of the back tank. Dead.
Nice.
Another one here.
Where'd he go?
In the back. Dead.
Nice.
We spawned.
Three dead. All spawning mid.
Maybe
bro.
Got me back alley. Back alley, Donnie.
Bottom mid.
I'm team back alley, bro. Let's go top green.
Donnie's on the gen.
They spawned back now. They spawned
Spawn the back. Spawn the back.
MVP5.
Down to the back.
Dash should be bottom church after that.
Bottom church, last guy. He's short. Down. Nice.
I'm on the back. One of the back.
He's already close back.
And the comms from LAG are absolutely beautiful. That's what it sounds like when you have a bunch of vets just calm, cool, and collected, ready to attack this map. They were making sure that they were set up on the rotations, pushing junk time when they needed to. You make sure they were setting up pinches as well. You heard Gunless at that end of that P1. He was like, all right, you guys got 2 from the front. All right, now it's time to collapse. And they set it up beautifully. LAG are not trying to get away from this series, trying to force that game 5.
Yeah, man, like we said, they were all focused coming into this game number 4. And now they've got the rotation ready and prepared now over at the Fountain, the hill that really could elevate LAG to a nice W, or one that could bring Paris back. John doing everything possible. He and Jimbo were trying to make a play over toward fire. Well, that one's been sniffed out. Huke trying to do something as well as Azim. Azim falls for his efforts, and now Paris, again, trying to tease their way in, trying to find an angle here or there. Gravity at the backside of the spawns has got no team support with him. LAG hold once more. And based off the time, they have the ability to win it here. So Paris are going to have some bit of contention. Somebody's going to have to hop on this hard point before things get even more out of hand. See, with an up-close battle, Paris will be able to hold on for the moment, but in pushing that one out, they give LAG spawns for next. This one just feels like it's done. The cold-hearted killer. Huke once more with some absolutely incredible kills. 30 and 20. Jay, this one's done. This one's done.
This one's done, my friend. LAG were just in control from start to finish of this game. They controlled the spawns every single time. Paris Legion could not get a break in on any single one of those hard points until like the final 10 seconds of it. That was a beautiful, beautiful execution from LAG to make sure that they were in control from start to finish of that map. Like I said, Paris Legion simply didn't have an answer, man. You can't break a hard point. You're not going to be able to win it. Now we have a game 5.
Tell you what, man, if Huke ever shows me that face in person, I'm running the opposite direction. I mean, he was
That's a bad man.
He was absolutely on one. Mama, there goes that man. There he goes into the game 5, 30 and 21. Great performance across the board, really, from this LAG team. And Jay, like I said, man, it was really from the get-go. I mean, it looked like we said that Gavutu round 4 where Paris were having their way. It was done, but in opposite form here now for the Guerrilla side as they forced the game 5. And my goodness, what a slang performance that it was. You could tell what this game means to both of these rosters right now, Jay. They do not want to go down 0-4. They do not want to lose to the opposing side.
And it's going to be insane because we're ending it off with a little bit of Cage as well. So we start off the series with a little bit of Mixy Bocage Hardpoint. Now we're going to end it with a little bit of Bocage S&D. This is going to be insane, man. It hasn't really been a lot of success for Paris Legion as it's sitting at 1-5.
Oh, Jay, I think we lost you, buddy. I think we lost him. Not sure if you can hear me or not, but hey,
I can hear you.
It's a commercial break. Jay, we're throwing it to a commercial break, buddy.
Commercial.
We got a Bocage for game 5. Tell your friends, tell your family. We're back on screen, but I'm here to tell you that this Bocage Search Destroy is going to be legendary. I'm telling you, it's going to be incredible. It's going to be sensational. Paris, LAG, somebody has got to get a W, and both teams are saying, why not us? Why can it not be us today? We will find out who will get the W when we come back after the break.
I'm too exhausted, I needed the energy, needed to pick me up. I'm in your movie, but this is my cinema. I got the power, I'm built to devour anyone coming against me at tower. I don't cave in the pressure. Some of y'all leaving here in the stretcher. Took my time to go and get better. I was reading in the red letters. Ay, hit me with your best shot. I got time today. it all with that Red Bull. Oh, no, you can't stop me. I'm running my own play. For the game win, I came to pin anything that gets in my way. Been here, done that. You all know what we came for. Been here, done that. You all know what we came for. Energy, energy, energy. I need that energy, energy. Energy, energy, energy. I need that. Been here, done that. You all know what we came for. Been here, done that. You all know what we came for. Energy, energy, energy. I need that energy, energy. Energy, energy, energy. I need that energy, energy.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Mountain Dew. Upgrade your game with a Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
Oh, baby, I've got the energy, Jay, and it's time for a game 5. Somebody is walking away with the W, my friend. I know you're smiling, I'm smiling. This could be a great one. I'm excited to see who is going to be able to get their first W on the board here at our Major 3 qualifiers, LAG and Paris. 0-3. It's been a wild ride so far, but it's living up to the same really matchup that we saw when it came down to the Pro-Am. That one went to a game 5. This one as well has the exact same legs. How do you feel about this Bocage, though, for both of these rosters?
I don't know. I think for Paris Legion, it all just comes down to slowing down the game, not allowing LAG to get first bloods, because that's the way that they find success. You give them that first blood, LAG are basically like 100% at that point. They are good at the man advantage. You cannot fall short early into these rounds. And on the good side for at least Paris Legion, the best offensive strategy that they have is going to be just basically the neutral setup. You spread map, you play for your information, and so they win that a majority of like 42% of the time. On the opposite side for LAG, that's also the same exact best setup. They win it 66% of the time. So both of these squads are going to be playing for heavy information, at least early into this game. I would like to see someone just take the tone right off the rip. Go for a rush play towards one of these bomb sites to where you're going to force these players on the defensive side to play a little closer so the guns fights get a little bit more engagement.
Yeah, I know we talked a lot really in that first Search, Destroy, and Desert Siege about the first bloods, the rate for LAG. I know the stats just called it right there. LAG, the #1 team in first bloods on Bocage Search, Destroy. So we'll see how it goes on Bocage. We're hoping somebody will set the tone nice and early and take a look at the rush. Mr. Jimbo finds himself on. Hello, Huke, just over toward the tractors, just doing some browsing, and quickly gets out of dodge before met with a pistol from aBeZy. Some very fast and aggressive plays early on from both sides, as Paris now look to force the issue once more toward the back end. aBeZy there to read one, cuts down John, 2 versus 2.
Temp actually lets him get away. That's unfortunate for Temp because he was in a great position to at least find that trade. So now the 2v2, aBeZy making the plays, has 3 kills on the round, 1 off of picking up this ace. Left up to Gravity in the 1v2 situation. You see LAG just not going to try to rush plant this bomb. It's going to get worked out towards A. Gravity, he might be able to stop it.
Oh, great cover fire coming out of the Guerrillas, and I'm not sure who ends up finding that final kill. Was it aBeZy who had the bomb, I want to say?
Yeah, aBeZy had the bomb, yeah.
So Gunless technically steals it, but aBeZy will be very happy with that transaction in the end, as he'll walk away with 3, the hat trick. Well deserved for that man, as Guerrillas. A great round to kick things off, a very aggressive start really for both sides. Paris trying to get all up in the Guerrillas' business, however, not going to work out.
Yeah, that was just unfortunate positioning from Temp, because if Temp's not standing on top of that tank, he's able to find that kill onto aBeZy, at least force it to a 2v1. And now with LAG up 1-0, you see Paris Legion just going to be all out aggressive towards bottom middle, and none other than Gunless in a great position to cut them both down. Another first blood for LAG and a 4v2 now.
Yeah, Gunless is like, okay, John, Jimbo, yeah, I know what you guys are going to do. Not a problem. 2-for-1 special on Bocage, nice and early. Tom Gravity and Temp now left up the clutch. You can tell they have got some bit of visuals to work off of. aBeZy finally does get taken down, and Temp also will find the second, making his way into Grandma's. Not a ton of square feet to work with, but LAG eventually there to find him, and all of that comes down just to the numbers that Gunless gave the team early.
Yeah, Gunless finds that early 2-piece, forces it to a 4v2, and then even with aBeZy finding that kill, Temp does eventually turn it into a 1v2, but Temp is absolute one-shot. He's getting called out every single ounce for the LAG side. Gunless is right there for the trade. Give him 3 kills on that round. So him and aBeZy so far he said, hey, anything you can do, I can probably do it a little better. They both match each other's energy right there in those first 2.
Oh, the energy, Jay. I love to hear it. Paris, they got to have something, though. Jimbo's been Mr. Aggressive so far, as he'll look to try to slow down the pace a little bit. You can tell Gunless and Huke were ready for that play. Established firmly inside of town center, town square, middle, whatever you'd like to call it. Just hope they don't shoot the chickens, though. That would not be great. Here we go. Nice little shots there from Gunless. Nothing happening yet. LAG now with to force their way into the A site. Temp with some visuals.
And Temp is going to peek the door at the right time. Can he find a kill and get up with his life? Yes, he does. Great work from him. And now it allows Jimbo to at least give himself that second kill of the map. Puts him now in a 3v2 situation. Slasher and Gunless versus the rest of the players on Paris Legion. The bomb is going to be down towards that middle zig area as well. So Gunless is on a 4 spree. He could potentially pick up a glide bomb, but he's going to get taken down by Temp. Now Slasher in the 1v3. He gets chopped down. And Paris Legion, best round so far in this S&D is to allow the information to come to you. Then you play off that. You find that early first blood. And once you find that first blood, it's usually to find a set. That's usually how you find success versus a team like LAG and S&D. Great work from Temp to find that on. And then Jimbo with the early pressure as well.
And good job for Paris to finally get on the board. All 3 wins that the Paris Legion have in this season of Vanguard do come in a Game 5 fashion, so something to think about. Paris as well, also trying to get their second online win of the year. A lot of their dubs, really, I guess you could say a majority of their dubs do come from land. So they've been in this spot before, but see if they can do it now. First round here and there. Now they've got that bomb ready to move it in toward the A site. Problem being is it aSeam, the only player who lies in a position to maybe make some noise. Jimbo stays alive and stays solid with the 40. Cuts down aSeam. And Paris with some map control.
Such a big first blood coming in from Jimbo. Now puts him in the man advantage. Jimbo gonna not slow down now as he finds the second. Temp finds the third. So now it's gonna be Gunless left in the 1v4. He knows that his position is gonna get called out. Paris Legion is just gonna probably commit towards a rotation towards B, playing a little safe, but they basically have this guy trapped.
Jimbo open the door. Peekaboo. Looking through the window. Oh, he wants it, Jay. He wants it so bad.
He's playing games with him right now, man.
Still there. I know you're still there, Gunless. I know you're still hiding and waiting. Oh, this is sad. This is sad. Okay, I was gonna say Big P. They're messing with him. They're having some fun, but no, you can tell Jimbo, nice and hungry. He wanted that. He started off the round great. He wanted to end it off at a nice way, but at the very least, it's an assist. Hands it over to John.
Just good pressure from Jimbo early on to that round to find that first one onto aSeam. That was such a massive kill. Then he stays alive close to that A-bomb and eventually find the second. Not in a 4v2 situation. They just play the number to advantage. Temp finds the third, and they just trap Gunless in the back right there. It was not going to be an easy task to get done. 2-2 now. Paris Legion able to take back-to-back rounds now to tie this game up. Now we're going to start to see this game probably slow down a lot. Those first couple of rounds is going to be like, you know, you're going to test it out here and there, but yeah, they got a little bit more comfortable. So here we go.
You want to feel things out a little bit, get an idea for the way that the other likes to play. Run some good old Bocage S&D, but as you said, play starts to slow down a little bit. aSeam still with the bomb on his back. His nades tossed heavily throughout the cage. Sounds like thunder going on right now. And not in the most fortified of positions. Temp has to be careful. The stun tossed out. They know he's got to be here. They know he's got to be checking. With him now out, that means that the Guerrillas can start to force their way in. One angle covered. John, though, able to hold it for one, not for the second. Guerrillas will stay alive as Slasher picks up the bomb, but Jimbo, as you called it, buddy, on the flank, takes one down. Now a 2 versus 2.
See, there's 25 seconds to work with. They're just trying to locate this player in Jimbo. I think that's going to be Huke who actually spots him. So now the bomb is going to work its way right over towards that B site. Huke trying to look for the first kill of the map for himself. And Jimbo's going to fly right into his free aim, and he should be able to pick up that kill. Now it's Gravity in the 1v2. Still a lot of time to work with 35 seconds.
35 seconds to work with and eventually cut down on the bomb. LAG able to hold. They make the site rotation, and they're able to lock it in from there. And that's just great work, right? With Temps holding that angle toward the top side of Grandma's. They're able to sneak their way through. They find a few picks. Slasher grabs the bomb and moves it on from there. Solid job from LAG to try to reel this one back.
Yeah, for me, that round just comes down to Huke. Like, with him getting that information of the player that where Jimbo went on that flank, he knows that we are basically going to have a free B-bomb plant. You can get this down, and I should be able to get this kill and put us in a man advantage. Perfectly played from him to take that round now for LAG. And right on cue, gunless with that first vote with the nade, already a 3v4.
And also lay claim for a great power position. Top Grandma's Temp, knowing this spot very, very well, runs right into the line of sight there from Big P. Too early in the round, sits 7-3. There's no gravity in Jimbo. Left to the rock in a hard place. A 2v4. Thankfully, though, they do have the bomb. A very tall task ahead for the Røkkrs.
Tall task indeed, but you see the way the LG are playing this. The buddy system at its finest. All four of these guys are like a conga line. Oh, but they're going to break up. They're going to actually break up. Asim does spot one. That is why. So now in a 4v1 situation, all left up to Jimbo. Bomb is going to be down towards the map. This is a guaranteed LAG round.
Yeah, Slasher cuts Jimbo down. Like you said, a nice little Congo line going. Man, might as well play the buddy system, man. You're in a 4 versus 2. Do things as a team, as a roster. No, that used to always be the strategy, like back in old Search Destroy days. Just group up, just challenge things as a roster. LAG, will they find those 2 picks? They do exactly that. Great work from them. And Jimbo denied from joining the Conga line. Maybe next round. We'll see.
So now LAG take the first 2 rounds of the map. Paris take the next 2, and then LAG respond to the very next 2. So that puts them up 4-2. And usually in Search and Destroy, this is the swing round. So you're going to put a lot of pressure on towards 8, but this can be a complete blind counter from Paris Legion. They find the first 2 bloods, and now that's going to be a 4v2 in favor of Paris.
Yeah, Slasher and Huke just instantly have to back on up, reassess the situation. Huke in a decent spot, could try to hunt for information. So bomb grab, Paris get that info, and with those numbers, we saw LG do it last time. Play the buddy system. Paris a little bit more spread. That could give opportunity for Huke. And try to break open this A site, called upon to go big and bottom Grandma's job done for the first, however, not on the second. Slasher cuts down Temp, now brings it to a 1v2. Much more feasible one at that. Cuts down John, and now brings it to a 1v1. Both of these battles last time on Desert Siege went the way of Slasher. Can he do it again versus the rookie?
Such a massive round for Slasher, and he knows the positioning as well of where Gravity is going to be playing, because he did pick up that kill onto his teammate on Huke. But in a great spot with a great angle, Tom Gravity goes massive. This time he says, Slash, you got the better of me the first go around in a 1v1, but this time I'm going to make sure I secure this great position with a great angle, followed up by some great shots to secure the round for Paris Legion. That was a 4v2. You can't get that close ever again. Paris Legion, you need to make sure they lock that up and play the Buzzy system like you said.
Yeah, man, that's what we talked about, right? LAG, they do it the round prior. Paris, a little bit more spread, gives the opportunity for Huke and Slasher to go hunting. They take advantage of it. Paris still lock it up in the end. Gravity sits on a 3 spree coming into this round, as Paris will look once more toward the attacking side. You have to see a lot of noise be made toward B. I think we've seen 1 plant out of the Guerrillas late in the round, but not a whole lot of action as you'd expect. And well, Paris could be going for the more unexpected take. Gravity there to show some face. A Slasher. No bullets tagged in yet. Legion looking to commit.
Oh, but a Slasher with this reposition is at least able to give the information to his team. So it looks like the push is going to come in towards B, but Paris Legion with a great heads-up play are going to wrap this back all the way towards A. So it's all going to fall into the information that Gunless can give towards his team. There's 40 seconds left. Right now, both of these teams are just trying to play for a plate, and Slasher's able to come out on top. The vet now puts him in a 4v3 advantage.
Yeah, it's a great angle. They're from Slasher over toward top L. And that just once more puts Paris in a precarious spot. 20 seconds. Huke, a great job to stay alive. You got, I think it's Gravity over at B. He eventually falls, and yeah, they all fall like dominoes. Guerrillas do not give them any bit of information to work off of. Paris try to go B. They then start to wrap on back. Slasher finds the first blood, and from there, the rest of them fall exactly the way that you'd hope.
Yeah, I thought if I was Paris Legion right there, when Gravity was throwing those shoulders onto Slasher towards top tower, when you got him to reposition, that is when you need to execute on pushing up towards that B-bomb and trying to get it down. Because when you allow Slasher to eventually work his way back towards L and then find that first blood and get out with his life, it's basically like they wasted an entire minute on a play that they thought was going to be able to develop, but it got shut down due to the play of what just Slasher did with his positioning right there. So now puts them at game point. Paris Legion need 3 straight.
Oh, how about the aggression? How about the aggression from LAG on the other side from Jimbo? It was the instant attack over toward that B site. However, take a look at the route the Guerrillas take. They go their way through sewers. And now Paris left with their heads turning, knowing that they have man advantage. But where are they? The seam falls, and just like that, Slasher, the sole man left to try and defend, cuts down Jimbo for the first. A 1v3, 30 seconds to play with. A bomb to defend, but he will not be successful in doing so. Paris hold on, despite what looked to be a very well coordinated and orchestrated attack there from the Guerrillas.
Yeah, Guerrillas, I thought like when they had all those players in the back of their spawn, like with great positioning, like it was going to be difficult for Paris Legion to try to break into that 8 point. But when they found that first blood, at least even up to the 3v3, they executed that kill onto Huke in the back of their spawn, which was massive. Once that happens, Asim is planting the bomb. You take care of him, and now in a 4v1 situation, we know where Slasher's going to be. He finds that one kill, and all you have to do is collapse. Great round from Paris Legion to stay alive. Now, on this offense, I would like to see them just change up the pace. Do not allow LAG to slowly pick you guys apart.
Oh, and LAG, look at the presence that they have on defense over at that B site. Nobody toward the back tank. Nobody really over at the stairs either. Gunless looks to reposition, and so does Asim. Is it too late? Is it too late is the question. Jimbo gets picked. Goes around that corner a little too aggressively. So LAG a little late on the rotation. Will now look at the map position that they have got. Temp finds one toward the sewers. But it is Slasher and Co. on the flank as John instantly now left in a 1 versus 3. What it would mean to clutch this out. What it could be to force that round 11. First player enters in toward his site, takes him down. 1v2 trying to make some noise. 30 seconds to play with.
Now, John, he at least knows that it was a buddy system kind of play from Slasher and one of his teammates that he was just able to take down. So now with 25 seconds left, he's going to work his way all the way through back 10. He's going to be able to find this kill, and he spots Gunless as well. Huge one-on-one. He picks up the auto to at least give himself a little bit more of an advantage in this gunfight.
John looks to reposition. Gunless, though, holds the angle, walks away with the 1v1, and just like that, Big P coming out clutch to give the Guerrillas their first victory since that Major II final. A sigh of relief across the countenances of the Guerrillas. And my goodness, what a game it was. 1 kill away from what would have been a game 5, round 11. John nearly does it for the squad, but Gunless goes big in LAG finally with a dub on the board here in our Major III qualifiers.
And S&D wins you championships. LAG get it done in both of the Search and Destroys in a 6-4 fashion. It was pretty much back and forth between both of these squads. But what it came down to the most, at least in the Search and Destroys, was the first bloods. LAG were able to win a majority of their rounds by picking up first blood. If you're Paris Legion, at least in that final round, you wasted a lot of time just trying to attack towards A. You allowed for LAG to hit that rotation. Gunless eventually finds that first blood, but then you're wasting so much time to attack that A site that you leave your flank completely open. And that's where you allow Slasher, a guy that's been doing this for so long, to find that opening, puts himself in a 3v1 situation, and then in the 1v1, Gunless goes massive to clutch it up for his team to now take this series for LAG, and they get back on the board. Finally, in the win column ever since Major II. Good for them. Second map for Gunless back on this roster, and they look pretty good, at least in the Search and Destroys. A lot to work with in the respawns.
Yeah, still a lot to work with in the respawns, but as you said, man, they just make the heads up type of play. You saw Slasher and Huke just instantly with the awareness, been in spots like this countless times as they clutch up. And as we said, I mean, what it means for the Guerrillas to get this win on the board, what it would have meant had they dropped in the Tuscan Harpoon, had they dropped in this Bocage Search Destroy, what it would have meant for the roster. But they hold on, they get the W. And they get it done in a very, very interesting series. Jay, you thought it had the legs to get to a game 5. I'll be totally honest. I thought it was going to be LAG with like a 3-0, 3-1. Not at all the case. I guess for those who did have the Paris predictions, not as crazy. I'm not going to lie. I was sweating a little bit. My pick'ems were looking pretty scary there.
I just thought there was no way in hell that Paris Legion come out and play the same exact way that they did versus New York versus a team like LAG. Right now, you heard the Des. They got New York top 3 out of all the teams that we currently have in the CDL, and they're just coming off of a fresh roster change with Kismet added to the lineup. They have been playing great. So if LAG, it's not going to be easy for them to just get right back into it. A lot of these teams have just been improving. Gunless has to get back on the same page with this team, especially in the respawns. Like that Kavutu control, they're definitely going to go back and look at that because to only have 2 segments completed in 2 offenses, that's disgusting. You cannot go on a 14 to 15 death spree to start off a 2 control and expect to win.
Yeah, man. I mean, it was a game of highs and lows, and like we said, a storybook ending there for Gunless as he, the man who gets brought back into the team after suffering an injury, now gives LAG their first win since that Major 2 final. Let's bring back in the desk, guys. A very interesting series. As we said, somebody had to win, and well, it was the Guerrillas that came out on top, Val.
Yeah, LAG came out on top, but hey, Paris were right there. The game was so close, right? But at the end of the day, it's good to see Gunless on top again, actually dominating. I'm loving what we're seeing from him, especially in Search and Destroy. Yeah. The snipes were so missed.
Yeah, you saw Standy and Lando talking about the first bloods there on that Desert Siege. I mean, you saw Gunless in a multitude of rounds getting those first bloods to kick things off, and I really loved how they played that. But also in that game 5, Search and Destroy, they got a few first bloods, but so did Jimbo. I just really like how LAG reacted to the aggression on the side of Jimbo. They knew that he was going to be on their side of the map, but they didn't stop and halt and like search for him every time. They would push the site, and then they would either respond to that with aggression to their to the other side of the map, or they would just get the bomb down, right? So LAG definitely came prepared in this series, knowing what Paris was going to do in the Search and Destroys, and they responded accordingly. I like what I saw.
No, we could just talk and tell you about it, but even better, let's show you. The Scump play of the game has to do with Gunless. Gunless popping off with the 3K with the snipe, leading the way in Search and Destroy, setting the tone.
I mean, just what a heck of a way to open up this Desert Siege with Gunless back on this roster. I mean, the snipes were just so clean, and you know, bringing out the sniper on this map, it basically closes off an entire side when you have especially somebody like Pierce hitting those snapshots like that. So the 2 S&Ds go in the hands of LAG, and definitely not actually what I thought. I definitely thought they were going to get more into the respawns and into this series lineup, but for them to take these Search and Destroys in the fashion that they did, it's looking up for LAG.
That was kind of how they won the championship if you think about it. It was like 2 Search and Destroys and a Tuscan hardpoint in like almost every series. So LAG, some normalcy sitting back in for them. But like we said, there's still a lot to work on for this LAG team. In their last couple of series, it has not been great. This was versus Paris, but at least in the Search and Destroy, strategically, it was sound. They look good.
In this series, it looked like Paris was going to run away with it. Fortunately for LAG, they didn't. Slasher looked good as well, but when it came to Paris, all right, Rogue Jimbo is best Jimbo, okay? I'm loving what we're seeing from them, but we still need to see more. Temp is still consistently that guy, but I think it's about time for Paris to just say, you know what, let's just try something new for once. We're halfway through.
I think they just gotta let loose at some point. I feel like they're so tied up on each other right now that like we keep making mistakes. We need to minimize the mistakes across the board. But we saw what Jimbo did when he went rogue on that Kavutu. I mean, he went on a 7 spree with a sub, just pushed up their tower. Guy was literally unkillable on the Bocage. We saw some of the routes that they were making when they just got comfortable and decided to just commit to the play. Either it's gonna work or it's not. I'd rather you take the risks than play scared of giving up those first bloods on the likes of LAG. Because every time you got picked, it was like everything halted. It was like, okay, LAG is basically just 100% gonna win this round. But now we have to try and play corners, and that's when LAG would get aggressive. That's when they would start pushing into their spot and just catching people off guard, catching people off the sprint. Paris just need to have faith in themselves.
They have to. But by the way, we actually have a game field post-victory spotlight with the one and only Gunless. Let's get Pierce on the screen, baby, because he has been tearing things up. Look at that smile.
So glad to see you feeling better, Pierce, and absolutely frying, especially glad to see LAG winning Search and Destroys again. And obviously a little bit of a rough Major 3 qualifier so far. What is you guys' like main focus moving forward for Toronto?
Honestly, our main focus so far has been hardpoint, I think. Just kind of getting on the same page, making sure that we're doing stuff together, and like actually basically like, you know, adapting during like, you know, hills, like if certain situations go different ways, and like kind of getting into those situational plays where like it always changes up, and I feel like we're really bad at that right now, but over time I feel like we're getting a lot better, and I think that's what it showed on the Tuscan.
Gunless, man, it's so nice to see you back and healthy and playing well. You're popping off in that series. I want to ask you a little bit about, your time away. So you're able to watch, your team play well, and then you also got to watch them struggle. Do you think it gave you sort of an edge coming back into the team? Like, okay, now I know what I need to do. How was that process for you?
Honestly, watching them do good and do bad, I think it gave me a lot of insight to figure out what they actually needed help on and like the things that I needed to like basically bring when I came back into the team. And I feel like my communication's gotten 90 times better since, my surgery and being able to actually feel healthy again. So I can actually, try to command people to do exactly like what we're talking about in matches and basically just, everyone's on the same game plan at all times. And that's like the most important part, like in Call of Duty.
Hey, yo, Gunless, I don't know about you, man. I don't know if you were able to see a seam screen, but have you seen him with the AR? He's absolutely filthy. So my question to you is, with me finding that out, I was thinking to myself, LAG needs something new in their pool, right? I was taking a look at Gavutu, where you guys have a pretty bad record. Have you considered putting a seam on the AR more? Because he actually fried today.
Yeah, I mean, aSim's definitely, last year he was majority of a flex player, so he definitely knows how to rocket and like actually how to play fast. It definitely helps me a lot as well when someone's like a fast AR alongside me, because it helps me like kind of maneuver around the map and like figure out what's open and what's not. And I feel like aSim does something that like a lot of teams don't have, and like he's a really important asset.
Yo, Gunless, you're one of the most exciting snipers this year in Call of Duty. I love it, man. Continue to win. I wish you and LAG the best. And hey, we'll holler at you next time. Get another win, man. It's good to see LAG win.
I mean, that's the plan. That's the plan. We got to keep winning, right?
Yeah, man. You take it easy, baby.
All right, you too.
All right, so yeah, that's it. LAG with a big victory. Obviously, they know that there's issues they have to fix, but hey, you know what? A win is a win. We can't take it away from them, and me, personally, I want to see more.
I know, absolutely. I'd want to see so much more out of LAG. I think the search and destroys in this series were a big step forward for LAG. When after Major 2, when they went on that insane S&D spree, they suddenly could not buy a search and destroy win. So to see them get 2 in the series and fairly dominant across the board as well, and a lot in the likes in Gunless being added back to this roster, going 10-4 on that search and destroy, I feel like, again, this is a step in the right direction for LAG, but like he said, they need to solidify these respawns.
Yeah, if they can dominate control, they got to do it in hard point. But also, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to see LAG attempt to win yet another major, what are you doing? Go get your tickets right now, because Toronto is right around the corner, and tickets are flying off the shelves fast, sold out already, but you can still get the single-day bowl pass and the 4-day pass.
Yeah, man, make sure you guys pull up to Major 3. It's actually literally right around the corner. Like, legit, we have one more weekend, and then immediately after that, we're going to be in Toronto. So if you can and you're able, pull up to the event. Let's have some fun.
The matches are going to be fire. And speaking about fire matches, check this out. Coming up next is going to be the Mountain Dew marquee matchup of the day, but also our last Bounty Week matchup. $10,000 are going to be on the line on the other side of this break. You got that right. We got OpTic Texas and Prolute. Make it rain, baby. They're facing off against Atlanta FaZe, who they haven't even broke a sweat against yet this year. But the question is, can Atlanta FaZe answer back? We'll find out, and we're going to talk about it all right here on the desk. We'll catch you on the other side of this break. See you soon.